Coming up next is BRAWLN News number 117. It's going to be an all MMA update, and we're going to talk about Nick Diaz and his problems with Mirjahuchi.
How he tries to solve them with.
And how he tries to solve it with more Mirjahuchi.
That doesn't seem to be working out.
Because that's just the best idea in the world. Also, we're going to talk about next season's Ultimate Fighter and the dramatic change that you'll be seeing in that. And what will King Mo have in common with TNA and Bellator next year? We're going to let you know that. All that and more coming right up.
I'm not really sure what kind of information one gets from two guys beating the snot out of each other. Let's find out together. It's BRAWLN News, a comic book man info.
Mankind's evolution. Once it kicks in, it should be a joy to behold. BRAWLN News, episode 117. Gum time.
Yes.
He's going to hit you again.
Start it!
Hey folks, Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video house. It's time for
Hey, I told you.
BRAWLN News!
BRAWLN News, and BRAWLN News is coming to you from this place, Alternate Reality. Look at the intersection of Unlimited and Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood. Alternate Reality, where you can take home all the free tar you want.
Fight the tar. Punch the tar.
It's tasty and delicious.
It's good on sandwiches.
Sticks right to your ribs.
Spread it right on a Ritz cracker
Oh,
and
man, that's good.
yeah,
Right
you
there.
Yummy!
Tarry.
crapping for months. Anyway, this is an all MMA update for BRAWLN News, and we're going to start off with what are we going to start off with? Oh, Nick Diaz. Nick
Yeah,
Diaz.
sure.
Nick Diaz has been suspended.
Oh.
Why? Why? Why?
Can't these guys ever fly it straight and narrow?
The long-standing and forever going on deal with Nick Diaz and his marijuana suspension is finally been solved and settled by the Nevada State Athletic Commission.
Nevada State?
Athletic Commission.
The Nevada State?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know what the hell state you were saying. But
I was in
State?
Nevada.
Yeah. Nevada.
Nevada is also good. That's what James Bond goes.
Yeah.
But they had a board meeting, and Nick Diaz
The
was
man's
there.
a Mormon. What can I say?
I am not. Nick Diaz was there, and he talked to the commission, and he talked about the fact that he is ADHD and he needs marijuana to get himself together. And the commission went, great, this is your second suspension for marijuana. You come back in a year and we'll give you a license.
You smoke marijuana?
Right. In fact, that's when we found out that if you want to pass a marijuana test, stop smoking weed 9 days before your test, and it'll all be out of your system.
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
That is if they announced the test.
Right.
Don't
Now,
surprised.
after Nick found out he would be suspended for a year,
What?
he can't come back.
A year?
Chael Sonnen stepped up to the plate, and the commission gave him an exemption to use testosterone replacement therapy, so he can now fight in Nevada. But they gave him a lot of conditions, such as you can't use this stuff 3 or 4 days before the fight. We can ask you to do a drug test at any particular point in time, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But he's allowed to fight now, so that means he can fight Anderson Silva in Las Vegas in August. He's clear.
Well,
He's
good
cool.
for him.
He's cool.
Good for him.
And Chael's damn entertaining. In fact, he's got a book out. I suppose he's funny as hell.
Okay. Next story up is Ultimate Fighter. There's a big story about the next season of Ultimate Fighter. The Ultimate Fighter next season will be what?
No longer live!
Oh, it's going to be live on tape.
Well, the previous seasons weren't live, and FX made a big deal about the fact they were being live, and you would show them in the house, and the fights would be live, and audiences really didn't care. So they said next year we'll go back to the format we had to begin with. We'll tweak it a little, and they said there's also a possibility that because they run the show on Fridays because FX has other shows on the network that are actually like Sons of Anarchy that are actually more ratings improved.
They get better ratings.
They get much better
seeing
ratings.
two guys beating the crap out of each other.
And so what the folks at FX told them is that the season after this one, we'll probably find you another night. So maybe we'll run you after Sons of Anarchy or before one of our other shows because we really like what you guys are doing and we realize the live thing didn't really help.
No, 3 a.m. is a beautiful time slot.
No, I mean, well, the problem with the Friday time slot was this. Okay,
What?
Friday Night SmackDown was on at 7 and 9. Bellator was on MTV2 at 8 o'clock. Ultimate Fighter was on at 9 o'clock, and there was something else going on. So there were like 4 or 5 MMA wrestling things on the same night, and if you've got 4 shows on, a certain amount of burnout sets in. And the ratings of Ultimate Fighter this season did pretty well, but they could have done better.
Well, Vince has run into that in the past. The WWE, you run enough wrestling and people get burned out on it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're thinking about it, SmackDown is taped on Tuesday. SmackDown should run on Tuesday, but Sci-Fi wants it to run on Friday.
Well, once upon a time, you would have SmackDown, you'd have Raw, you'd have Saturday night's main event, and you'd have your pay-per-view, and you also had the Sunday morning show.
Right. So you have all
Okay, and one of the reasons some of that stuff is gone now, because it's burnout.
Yeah.
Too much of it. Anyway, TNA and Bellator have reached a deal to do what with King Mo?
Well, King Mo was fighting for Strikeforce, but then he lost his last fight and he got suspended. But when he makes his return to MMA, well, his return to MMA will actually be next year because he's going down to TNA's training facility, Ohio Valley Wrestling, and he will be training to become a professional wrestler.
Oh, good for him. Gonna make some real money.
So he will wrestle for TNA, which has a working relationship between them and Bellator because the head of Bellator has been on TNA before talking about it. He'll wrestle there, custom-made throne. Then as soon as that's over with, then when Bellator is legally allowed to be run on Spike TV, he will be part of the heavyweight tournament. So he is basically blazing the trail because we've already had Brock Lesnar show up at UFC 146, and so they said, well, could he do both? Roy Nelson has said he'd be more than willing to do both. He'd fight for the UFC and he'd fight for the WWE. Frank Mir just about an hour and a half ago said, I'd love to fight in the WWE. So it's become this, let's do both. Let's do both because it's cool.
Well, let's see. I can get punched in the head and wind up with brain damage the rest of my life, or I could jump around in a ring and get paid pretty much the same amount of money.
I mean, most MMA fighters only fight twice a year anyway, so you've got a lot of time to do nothing except train and hang out.
And that's it. We're going to go off and train. We're done. We're finished. We're out of here. We got no more fight news. But go to the store's website. Check out all the BRAWLN news that we have there. That this man sends me, I post up. Hey, Skippy, where are you going to?
I'm training.
Oh, is that what they call it? Okay, well, Skippy here is going to tell you that the store's website is at...
You guys haven't been the same since you got back from that canoe trip. www.myalternatereality.com.
So go to the store's website.
Just add Twinkies to us. See how it works.
Fried Twinkies!
Twinkie.
Yes, I train with fried Twinkies and little chocolate donuts.
He does, you know.
Here, start your training regime right here.
Done
Yeah.
Some vintage Girl Scout cookies.
Go to the store's website. Check out all of his BRAWLN news. Until next time, this is Comic Book Man.
Yeah.
And this is Bo saying, I love these Girl Scout
Girl
cookies.
Scout
Yes,
cookies.
everyone should train with Girl Scout cookies.
Because they're vintage.
Until next time, bye! Here at Alternate Reality, all new comics are 15% off every day for everybody. That's right, all my new comics are always 15% off every day for everyone. All you got to do is stop in here and pick it up anytime during the 7 days that book is new. So be sure to stop off here at Alternate Reality and pick up this week's new comics for 15% off all the time, only at Alternate Reality.
The Video Outhouse is brought to you by some of the finest people willing to work for free. This is a list of some of them.